The Chicago River knows your name. Submitted to ShadowNarrated name, withheld by request. There were 4 names on that list. 3 of them were dead. The 4th was mine. I want to tell you how I found that out. Because it didn't happen the way you'd expect. I wasn't a victim. I wasn't a detective. I wasn't even supposed to be involved. I was a paralegal at a defense firm in Chicago who stayed late on the wrong Wednesday, or maybe the right one, and opened a file I was never meant to see. This is what happened. October. Lincoln Park, 2 blocks from Lake Michigan. If you've never been to Chicago in the fall, you don't understand the cold yet. It's not regular cold. It comes off the lake with an edge to it, sharp, personal, like it's specifically looking for you. I'd lived there 2 years. $1,400 a month for a studio, half a block from a Whole Foods. Joggers and dog walkers, and the kind of normal that makes you feel invisible in the best possible way. The first missing poster went up October 5th, taped to the lamppost outside my building. Danielle Marsh, 26. Last seen October 4th, near the Riverwalk. Dark hair, bright smile. The kind of face that makes you stop walking for just a second. I hoped she was okay. I walked past that poster every single day. Then it was gone. Then a new one went up. Brianna Cole, 24. Last seen October 19th, near Michigan Avenue. Different girl. Same dark hair. Same smile. I felt something shift in my chest, but I kept walking. This is Chicago. The city is big. People disappear for 100 different reasons, and most of them aren't the reason you're thinking of at 11 p.m. walking home alone. I kept telling myself that. My commute was the red line. Every night. Fullerton stop. 6 blocks home. Always around 11. My friend Kayla had been on me about it for months. You're a single woman. Same route, same time, every night. Stop being predictable, Renee, I told her. She watched too much true crime. 3rd week of October, I'm on the train. Exhausted. Headphones in. I look up as we pull into Fullerton, and there's a man on the platform, just standing there, not watching the train, watching the doors, watching me specifically through the glass. I told myself I was paranoid. I got off. He got off. I walked. He walked. I turned onto Racine. He turned onto Racine. I called Kayla without saying a word about him. Just needed a voice. He turned off at the next block and was gone. I didn't sleep that night. November 1st. Chicago Tribune. 3 women. 30 days. 2-mile radius around the Riverwalk. All between 23 and 27. All dark hair. All last seen at night. They weren't using the words yet in print. They didn't have to. I fit every single point of that description. I screenshot the article and sent it to Kayla without a caption. She called me in 30 seconds. You are not taking the red line alone at night anymore. I started taking Ubers. 2 weeks later. A Wednesday. Late. I'm cross-referencing a client intake file with background documentation, routine discovery work, and I find a name I recognize. Then an address 4 blocks from mine. Then an alibi with 3 gaps in it. October 4th. October 19th. October 27th. I sat completely still for 10 minutes. Then I picked up my phone and called the tip line the Tribune had published. I told myself I was probably wrong, that I was connecting dots that had no business being connected, that I was a paralegal, not a detective, and I was about to make a very embarrassing phone call. 2 days later, Chicago PD arrested David Carver, 34 years old. 4 blocks from my apartment. Red line commuter. Night shift. Here's what I've never said publicly. My boss called me in the next morning. He'd seen the same file, the same gaps, the same dates. He had chosen to say nothing. He told me I had potentially violated attorney-client privilege, that my job was at risk, that I needed to speak to a lawyer. I sat across from him and thought about Danielle Marsh's poster on that lamppost, about Brianna Cole, about the third woman whose names still hadn't been released. I thought about the man on the platform watching me through the glass. I thought about how I walked the same 6 blocks every single night. And then I thought about the fact that I fit the description. Exactly. I quit on the spot. He's still practicing law in Chicago today. The trial was 8 months later. 2 convictions. The third woman was never found. I testified. My former boss tried to have it excluded. He failed. Outside the courthouse, on California Avenue, Detective Okafor shook my hand and said, "You probably saved someone's life. We had nothing before your call." I nodded, walked to my car, and then I sat there for a long time before I could drive. Because here's what I never told him. 3 days before that Wednesday, before the file, before any of it, I almost went home at 6. I had plans with Kayla, dinner in Wicker Park, but I got a voicemail from an unknown number, just static, then a voice. Low, calm, completely flat. Stay late tonight. I thought wrong number. Pocket dial. Some kind of glitch. I stayed late anyway. Found the file. Made the call. I have never been able to trace that number. I have never told Detective Okafor about it. I don't know what it means. I'm not sure I want to. But when they searched David Carver's apartment, they found a notebook in the freezer behind a bag of peas. 4 names. 3 dead. Mine was 4th. And next to my name, in different ink, like it was added later, was one word, interrupted. Submitted to ShadowNarrated. Identifying details altered. The conviction is public record.